If we didn't end with enough of a black pill yesterday, well, don't worry, I got something for you, because yesterday, in Canada, they're going to be jabbing up all the kids, and a couple days before that, the CDC is going to be looking at jabbing up kids as well, so don't worry, just because it's up here in Canada, doesn't mean that it can't trickle down into the United States. Friends down there, don't worry about it, you guys, it's coming for you as well. But we also got some other very important school-related information. Unfortunately, we couldn't really fit in anywhere yesterday, but we can right now, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it, shall we? Attorney General Merrick Garland, you know that guy. He's the one who likes to call protesting parents, what's the proper terminology? Oh, right, domestic terrorists, okay? Admits he took word from National School Boards Association to target parents as domestic terrorists. So he just openly admitted to collusion. Okay, what's going to happen to him? Oh, he's literally the top cop in the entire nation. Cool. Fuck, man. I don't even know what to do at this point. Put on my glasses so I can read. How about that one? I was wondering why everything was looking so fuzzy. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland admitted during a hearing of the House Judiciary Committee Thursday that he took word from the National School Board Association that parents voicing concerns at their local school board meetings should be targeted as domestic terrorists. Okay, when the National School Board Association, which represents thousands of school boards and school board members, says that there are these kinds of threats, okay, could you verify any of them? Oh, no? Oh, okay, cool, that's what I thought. Garland told Jim Jordan, who pressed the Attorney General on the fact that the very first sentence of the memorandum, dated October 4th, stated, citing an increase in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school board members, teachers, and workers in our nation's public schools. Today, Attorney General Merrick B. Garland directed the FBI and U.S. Attorneys General to meet in the next 30 days with federal, state, tribal, territorial, and local, whatever, law enforcement leaders, let's get some words out, to discuss strategies for addressing the disturbing trend. These sessions will open dedicated lines of communications for threat reporting, assessment, and response by law enforcement. When did you first review the data concerning the so-called disturbing uptick? Jordan asked during the hearing. So, I read, I still remember watching his fucking confirmation hearing. The guy's adult, okay? So they're obviously cutting out a bunch of words he is using just to think about what the fuck he's gonna lie about. Say next. So I read the letter, and we have been seeing over time, Garland said. So you read the letter. That's your source, Jordan pressed. Are there some studies or some investigations someone did that said there's been a disturbing uptick, or did you just take the words of the National School Board Association? Oh boy, this is going to be tragic. When the National School Board Association, which represents thousands of school boards, members said that there are these kinds of threats. You actually repeated that? Cool, it's definitely not scripted or anything. When we read the newspaper reports of threats of violence, and that's in the context of the threats, can you point to anything? No? Oh, okay, cool. You just make the rules now. Okay. This is all just a dog and pony show, by the way. These Senate hearings, these committee hearings, never do anything. But at least you have the information so you guys can try and hold these people accountable. It's fuck all I can do about it. I'm stuck up here in the great white hellhole. State school board associations throughout the country have been distancing themselves, but a letter sent by the NSBA to President Joe Biden imploring him for federal law enforcement assistance to deal with parents angry and frustrated over critical race theory, indoctrination, and a whole bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about right now, because there's 17 states have signed on to, and we talked about, Pennsylvania was the first one to peace out, and 16 other states at this point, so it's big tough. So they're trying to get CRT and all of its insanity. Well, realistically, it's just critical theory. They just get that the fuck out of schools and go back to critical thinking. But don't worry about it, because they're just your kids just need to get jabbed up. They just need to wear the mask. They just need to stop asking probing questions, so you can just let the teachers tell your kids how bad they are just for the virtue of being white, okay? Or eventually they'll just move on to somebody else who's less oppressed than the more oppressed students that are in there, and they'll just continue to tell them that they're bad, because there's never a bottom to this. The spiral, it just keeps going and going and going and going. And you know how you stop? You just get off the ride. You get your kids out of these fucking camps. God, they're terrible. And I got out just at the right time, because this shit was really starting to get pernicious right close to the end. Throughout high school, and then a little bit heavier during college. I couldn't even imagine what the fuck is going on right now. But yeah, this was just coming from a bureaucrat a couple of days ago, but then all of a sudden the Surgeon General says that vaccinated children are likely to have to wear masks in schools. What's the point? What's the fucking point? Just shut up and get it, right? That's the argument from these fucking whack jobs. Indoor mask mandates at schools will likely stay in place even after young children receive the vaccine in coming weeks, said the Surgeon General Vivek Murthy. Cool, as he stands there. Yup, okay. In an October 21st interview with CNN's New Day, that one doesn't rock. Murthy was asked how much the vaccination of children 5 to 11 would affect the need for them having to wear masks in the classroom. He replied, I don't know, but they should probably just continue to wear them. Where's your science? Fuck you. CDC has guidance currently says even if you are vaccinated, you do need to wear a mask. One day we'll get past this. One day. I just get so tired of reading, just put on the mask, okay? Or seeing the pictures of kids that are just fighting to not wear masks. And there's not a whole lot of things that rattle me, but that enrages me as much as anything really can. It'll likely be the case for children until the CDC changes it. Oh, okay, cool. And we all know that they like to point at a very real, very publicly available study, so that information will probably just be right out there in the open for all of us to see. He then advised parents that having their kids vaccinated reduces the pressure to quarantine them when they're exposed to the virus. Oh, okay, cool. It doesn't stop them from needing to. So literally, what the fuck is the point at this time and place? We know that if you have somebody in the classroom who is exposed, but if you're vaccinated, your chances of actually getting sick are much, much less. Oh, okay, cool. What were their risks beforehand? Okay. How many kids have had this and have been totally asymptomatic or have just had a runny nose? Can you point to any of those? They're probably in the same place where you can get you're much, much less likely. Well, children represent about 16% of all COVID-19 cases in the United States. Okay. Deaths and severe illnesses due to COVID-19 remain uncommon among American children. No, they got different science though. Why are you looking at the official stats? CDC issued last-minute changes to school reopening guidance after being asked by teachers' unions. Email show. Yeah, so it's the CDC that's being informed by the teachers' unions on how to keep your kids quote-unquote safe. Cool. You really feel like your voice matters now? Really think that these public schools are worth saving? Really think that more government is the solution to this shit? Well, because if you think that, I got a bridge in New York to sell you, or some farmland in South Florida. The crooked, disheveled cunts. Is that what we should go with the CDC from now on? I don't know. Issued last-minute changes to school reopening guidance after two prominent teachers' unions asked the agency to do so, according to newly obtained emails by watchdog group Americans for Public Trust. That must be a tough job, okay? And it's got to be just as busy, and it's got to be something along the training of that you would give to the suicide hotline, because who actually has public trust at this point in time? Fucking Christ. The emails obtained through a Freedom of Information request and published online show that a string of communications between the CDC, the National Education Association, and the American Federation of Teachers. Those are big ones, okay? The nation's second largest teachers unions and one of the top donors of the Democratic Party. Wow, I can't say I'm shocked. Multiple emails show that both the teachers unions also received a copy of the guidance pertaining to the reopening of K-12 schools shortly before the CDC released it to the general public. Wow, just like Merrick Garland getting the letter from the National School Board Association and then doing everything that he can to placate them because they're another big Democratic donor, and now the CDC's doing it. It's almost like unions are the problem, and getting rid of them would fix a lot of problems. One such email from AFT's a senior director of health issues, Kelly Trotner, I bet she's a doctor, to the CDC director Rochelle Walensky on February 11th. Oh my God, what was the science there? Got to be careful about what I say, because I could get removed for misinformation. Not any of these cunts. They're going to have jobs forever, and I'm not saying cunts just because they're women. Okay, maybe a little bit of that, but they're just so crooked. Thank you for your continued openness to our suggestion and input. And we would like to share some thoughts regarding the paragraph below, which was apparently leaked from an imminent guidance on reopening schools. At any level of community transmission, all schools can provide in-person instruction, either full or hybrid, through strict adherence to mitigation strategies. Recommended learning modes vary to minimize, whatever. Recommended learning modes, in-person, hybrid, depend on the level of community transmission. Don't care. Within the email, Trotner says that it would be great if the CDC inserts the line, in the event high community transmission results from a new COV variant, a new update of these guidelines may be necessary. Oh, okay, cool. You never want to have anything set in stone because then you'd have to follow something. That's awesome. Trotner then goes on to cite concerns over the likely implications of the language that will have on schools where it is difficult to adhere to strict mitigation strategies due to them to be located in high-density, crumbling infrastructure areas, and particularly where community transmission is high. They're called inner cities, you fucking politically correct bitch. We don't believe that any current research has demonstrated that all schools in these areas can safely reopen, i.e. our teachers are lazy. God, they're just so corrupt. I could read the rest of this if you really wanted me to, but I will leave a link to in the description, obviously. But who's actually making the call? What are they actually citing as information? What receipts are they providing? It's just bureaucrats deciding how we all live our life, how your kids are going to be treated. And if you're fine with that, sweet. You already have your blinders on. You wouldn't have listened to the end of this anyways, so protest as you see accordingly. We got to talk about somebody else who needs to be held accountable for something really stupid that he did. Ron DeSantis. I know. Don't put any faith in anybody else besides yourself. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Doghouse Whale. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.